X-Men, Dark Phoenix redirects here. For the comic storyline, see the Dark Phoenix saga. For the comics characters, see Jean Grey and Phoenix Force. Dark Phoenix. Dark Phoenix, marketed internationally and released on home media as X-Men, Dark Phoenix, is a 2019 American superhero film based on the Marvel Comics X-Men characters. It is a sequel to 2016's X-Men, Apocalypse, the 12th installment overall in the X-Men film series, and the fourth and final installment of the prequel films. It marks the first X-Men film without the involvement of Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, apart from the spin-off Deadpool films, and the last to be produced by Bad Hat Harry Productions, though the company was uncredited due to sexual assault allegations made against Bryan Singer in 2019. It was produced, written, and directed by Simon Kinberg, in his feature film directorial debut, and stars an ensemble cast featuring James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender, Jennifer Lawrence, Nicholas Hoult, Sophie Turner, Ty Sheridan, Alexandra Shipp, and Jessica Chastain. Dark Phoenix tells the origin story about how Jean Grey becomes the Phoenix. The story revolves around Jean struggling with mental illness after a cosmic force enhances her psychic powers. It follows Jean as she tries to avoid hurting the people she loves, while other parties seek to control or kill her. After X-Men, Days of Future Past, 2014, erased the events of X-Men, The Last Stand, 2006, from the series timeline, Kinberg expressed interest in a new adaptation of Chris Claremont and John Byrne's The Dark Phoenix saga in a future film that would be more faithful than his previous attempt with The Last Stand, which was met with a mixed reception, with even Kinberg and co-writer Zach Penn ultimately unimpressed with the film. The new adaptation was confirmed as a follow-up to Apocalypse in 2016. Kinberg signed on as director in June 2017, with the majority of the cast set to return from Apocalypse. Filming began later that month in Montreal and was completed in October 2017. The entire third act was reshot in late 2018 after test screenings yielded poor responses. The film is dedicated to the memory of X-Men co-creator Stan Lee, who died on November 12, 2018. Dark Phoenix was theatrically released in the United States by 20th Century Fox on June 7, 2019, to a critical and commercial failure. Deadline Hollywood estimated the film lost $133 million after marketing and distribution costs, making it one of the biggest box office bombs of all time. Plot: in 1975, 8-year-old Jean Grey is orphaned in a car crash when her telekinetic powers manifest. Professor Charles Xavier brings her to his school for gifted youngsters, promising to teach her to control her mutant abilities. In 1992, during the Space Shuttle Endeavour's first mission, the shuttle is damaged by solar flare-like energy, and the President calls upon the X-Men to save the astronauts. Rescuing the crew, Jean is struck by the energy. Her psychic powers become amplified, but harder to control as her emotional state deteriorates. Xavier reveals to the other X-Men that he suppressed Jean's memory of causing the car crash as a child to keep the psychological trauma from making her unstable, but her enhanced power is destroying the mental blocks and she is now experiencing PTSD symptoms. This all results in her powers going out of control. Jean travels to her hometown after seeing visions of her father and finds him alive, having survived the car crash and forsaken her. She recovers her memory and realizes that her powers, uncontrollable at the time, caused the crash and killed her mother. The X-Men arrive, and after a skirmish in which Peter Maximoff is injured, Xavier mentally freezes everyone to allow Raven Darkholme to persuade Jean to come home, but Jean accidentally kills Raven during a violent telekinetic episode. Fleeing to the island of Genosha, a mutant refuge run by Eric Laneshair, Jean asks him for help controlling her rage, but military helicopters arrive, demanding Jean's surrender. She attacks them, and Laneshair angrily banishes her. She is found by Vuk, after killing Jean's father, leader of a shape-shifting alien race known as the Debari, who explains that the cosmic force Jean absorbed had wiped out the Debari planet, consuming everything in its path until it was drawn to Jean. She offers to help Jean learn to use the force safely. Hank McCoy, blaming Xavier for Raven's death, leaves the school and allies with Lane's Hair and his faction of mutants in a plan to kill Jean in New York City. Learning of Lane Sher's plan, Kurt Wagner teleports the X-Men to New York to save her. While the two factions battle, Lane's Hair confronts Jean and Vuk but is defeated by Jean's amplified powers. Xavier convinces Jean to read his memories, helping her former personality resurface. Remorseful, she attempts to let Vuk take the Phoenix Force from her, but Scott Summers stops her when Vuk reveals the Debari's intent is to use the Force to conquer Earth. Government troops subdue both mutant factions while Vuk escapes. The mutants are confined on a train, and Vuk and her Debari forces attack, overpowering the soldiers while the mutants are freed. Xavier and Scott convince McCoy, Lane's Hair, and their allies that Jean is not beyond help, and they unite to fend off the Debari attackers before Vuk arrives. Xavier confers with Jean within his mind, and she forgives him, saving the mutants from the ensuing train wreck and disintegrating the remaining Debari. Vuk again attempts to drain the force from Jean, who flies them into space to unleash all of her power and kill Vuk. Jean then transforms into a phoenix-shaped being of energy. Xavier's school is renamed the Jean Grey School for Gifted Youngsters and Xavier retires as dean, with McCoy taking his place. While sitting at a cafe on Rue de la Paix, Paris, Xavier is surprised by Lane's Hair, who invites him to a game of chess and they reconcile, while a flaming phoenix appears high in the sky. Cast members at the 2019 WonderCon. From top to bottom: Holt, Turner, Sheridan, Shipp, Smith-McPhee, and Peters. James McAvoy as Professor Charles Xavier, a mutant pacifist. He founded Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters. Many of the characters in the film turn against Xavier as some of his decisions regarding Jean Grey's abilities are revealed. Director Simon Kinberg felt that the character always acts out of concern for the greater good, though he may make some misguided choices at times. Kinberg hoped that each character would come across as having a valid point of view in the film. 7. Michael Fassbender as Eric Lane's Hair/Magneto, a powerful mutant who can control magnetic fields and manipulate metal. He is Xavier's former best friend and often rival, as well as Peter's father, though he does not know this. Magneto has formed a community of mutant refugees on the island of Genosha 8, which Kinberg compared to Israel, in that it is a homeland where mutants can feel safe. 9. Jennifer Lawrence as Raven Darkholme/Mystique, a shape-shifting mutant and Xavier's adopted sister. Lawrence described her role in the film as more maternal than before, as she leads the younger X-Men. 10. The film continues growing the schism between Mystique and Xavier, with Mystique not approving of some of Xavier's methods, though Kinberg hoped that this would be more subtle in Dark Phoenix than in the previous X-Men films. Nicholas Hoult as Hank McCoy/Beast, a mutant with a beastly appearance and superhuman physical abilities. He is a teacher at Xavier's school and helps lead the younger X-Men. He continues to have feelings for Mystique. Sophie Turner as Jean Grey/Phoenix, an extremely powerful mutant scared of her telepathic and telekinetic powers, who is one of Xavier's most prized students. The Phoenix entity is unleashed in the film, leading her to grow more and more unstable as her two personalities fight for control. The film also explores her past. Turner studied dissociative identity disorder and schizophrenia for the role, particularly for scenes where she has to change from the vulnerable Jean to the confident Phoenix. 11. Kinberg said Turner has the lead role in the film, a first for the actress. 12. Summer Fontana portrays an 8-year-old Jean. Ty Sheridan as Scott Summers/Cyclops, a mutant who fires concussive optic beams. The film develops his relationship with Jean Grey, which Kinberg called a huge part of the emotional core of the movie. This forces the character to become a leader in the film. 13. As he is the most prominent character who holds on to hope as Jean grows more unstable. 9. Alexandra Shipp as Aurora Monroe/Storm, a Kenyan mutant who can control the weather. Evan Peters as Peter Maximoff/Quicksilver, Eric's mutant son who can move at superhuman speed. Peters described the character as more mature and subdued in the film, being focused on using his abilities for good as a member of the X-Men. 14. Cody Smith-McPhee as Kurt Wagner/Nightcrawler, a German mutant who can teleport. Jessica Chastain as Vuk/Margaret Smith, the leader of a shape-shifting alien race known as the Debari, who seeks to capture the Phoenix so she can use it to conquer Earth. Kinberg described her as the devil on Jean's shoulder, 9, while Chastain called her character clinical. 15. Chastain also plays Margaret Smith, the woman Vuk impersonates. Other cast members include Scott Shepard as John Gray, Jean's father, Ato Esando as Jones, Vuk's second in command, and Brian Darcy James as the President of the United States. Additionally, Kota Eberhardt portrays telepath Selene Gallio, while Andrew Stellan portrays Araki, a mutant who can utilize his hair braids as a weapon. This character was initially reported as Red Lotus. 716 Halston Sage briefly appears as Dazzler in the character's first cinematic appearance. 17 Hannah Emily Anderson appears as Jean's mother Elaine. 18 and Lamar Johnson appears as Match. Veteran X-Men writer Chris Claremont makes a cameo appearance as a White House guest during the scene in which Xavier accepts his award for rescuing the crew of the Space Shuttle Endeavour. 19 Daniel Cudmore, who previously portrayed Colossus in the franchise, was announced as having a role, but did not appear, though he was credited as a stunt performer. 20. Production. Development. When he joined the team making the sequel X2, 2003, writer Zach Penn convinced director Bryan Singer not to adapt the Marvel Comics storyline The Dark Phoenix Saga for the film, believing it was too soon to go into the Phoenix story and it was too soon to get cosmic. 21 The character of Jean Grey/Phoenix was instead explored subtly, with the intention of the full story being adapted in the next film instead. 21-22 Singer did not return to direct the sequel X-Men, The Last Stand, 2006, written by Penn and Simon Kinberg, which was directed by Brett Ratner instead. The studio chose to adapt the Dark Phoenix saga as only one of the film's parallel storylines, with an executive at 20th Century Fox suggesting that the Gifted storyline also be in that film. 22-23 This version of the story was not well received by fans and critics. Kinberg stated that he and Penn were ultimately unhappy with how the adaptation turned out as well. 24. After the timeline of the X-Men franchise was retconned with X-Men, Days of Future Past, 2014, it was noted that a new adaptation of the Dark Phoenix saga could be made that ignores the events of The Last Stand. Kinberg and Singer both expressed interest in the prospect, and hinted that X-Men, Apocalypse, 2016, would set up elements for a retelling. Apocalypse introduces Sophie Turner as a young Jean Grey and begins exploring how powerful she is. 24 By April 2016, the sequel to Apocalypse was being rumored to indeed be a readaptation of the Dark Phoenix saga. 25 In May 2016, Kinberg said that the next X-Men film after Apocalypse would be set in the 1990s, advancing one decade, as had been done for each of the previous few X-Men films. 26 He also noted that Apocalypse had introduced younger versions of several characters from the original X-Men films to give them a new origin story, including Storm, Cyclops, Nightcrawler, and Jean Grey, with the intention of then exploring them in their own line of films. He added that he also hoped to see the cast of the previous trilogy of films return, namely James McAvoy as Charles Xavier, Michael Fassbender as Eric Laneshair/Magneto, and Jennifer Lawrence as Raven Darkholme/Mystique. 27. In July, Kinberg said he would begin writing the next mainline X-Men film real soon. 28 That November, Fox was said to be pressing the reset button on the franchise due to the financial and critical underperformance of Apocalypse, with the franchise being reconfigured and Singer not returning to direct the next film. McAvoy, Fassbender, Lawrence, and Nicholas Holt's contracts from the previous trilogy had ended, but Kinberg was optimistically writing the new script with them in mind. 29. It was rumored in February 2017 that the next film would be titled X-Men: Supernova, and would begin filming that June. 30. Also in February, Turner confirmed that she would return for the film. 31. Kinberg was believed to be interested in making his directorial debut with the film 32 and was described as the top contender for the job with interest from Fox. The studio was also looking to negotiate new deals with Lawrence, Fassbender, McAvoy, and Holt to return. 33. By the end of the month, Kinberg described reports that he might direct the film as premature, but added that, if he were to direct, he would not be daunted by the scale of the film due to his experience writing and producing many of the other X-Men films. He also reiterated that he would adapt the Dark Phoenix saga differently than they had in The Last Stand, if given another opportunity to do so. 34. Writing. Simon Kinberg began writing the film in late 2016. 35. The movie would work as an origin story about how Jean Grey becomes the Phoenix and would center around her struggling with mental health issues. Research was done on various trauma-related mental illnesses. 36. 37. Concept art revealed that, originally, the film was to feature the return of Emma Frost and a new incarnation of the Hellfire Club. The new members were Harry Leland, Friedrich von Rohm, Fenris, Shinobi Shaw, and the Red Lotus Gang, whom Andrew Stellan was set to play. 38. They were replaced with the Skrulls as the film's villains after the script was rewritten, and the Skrulls were replaced with the Debari after reshoots. 39. However, the role the aliens play in the story was still based on the Hellfire Club, with Jessica Chastain's character being inspired by Mastermind and Emma Frost. 40. 41. More concept art revealed that the scene with the Debari watching Charles Xavier at the White House was an element from the earlier script, as the Hellfire Club can be seen watching the event on television at their lair. 42. Pre-production. Director, producer, and screenwriter Bryan Singer was removed from the X-Men franchise following allegations of sexual abuse. Kinberg said at the start of March 2017 that he and producer Hutch Parker had begun early prep on the film, and that Supernova was just a code name they had been using for the sequel. He said they began discussing the story for the film during post-production on Apocalypse, and that they wanted to do something bold and radical and expand the universe in the same way that Logan, 2017, feels bold and radical, and certainly Deadpool, 2016, does as well. 43. In pitching the film to the studio, Kinberg used real-world imagery, such as footage of disasters and lightning strikes, and focused on an organic and grounded approach as a response to criticisms of Apocalypse's heightened reality. 44. Fox officially titled the film Dark Phoenix in April 2017 and gave it a release date of November 2, 2018. 45. Fassbender indicated in May that he would be returning for the film 46, and Parker soon hinted that a younger version of the character Rogue could appear and that the film might explore the cosmic elements of the Dark Phoenix storyline. 47. 48. Fox confirmed that Kinberg would direct the film and that McAvoy, Fassbender, Lawrence, and Holt had all signed on to return for one more film. In addition to Turner, Apocalypse actors Alexandra Shipp, Ty Sheridan, and Cody Smith-McPhee were also confirmed to be returning, while producers for the film were revealed to be Kinberg and Parker. At that time, Chastain was in talks to join the cast as Shi'ar Empress Lilandra Naramani, the film's villain. The film's script was said to hew closer to the original Dark Phoenix saga by Chris Claremont and John Byrne than The Last Stand did. 49. Despite being listed as a producer, Lauren Schuler Donner had no involvement in the film and was only given credit due to contract terms. 51. It was later revealed that the character Dazzler would appear in the film, after being hinted at in a scene that was eventually deleted from Apocalypse. 53. Halston Sage was cast in the role in August 2017. 54. Singer was originally announced as being a producer on the film, but following allegations of sexual abuse against him, Kinberg stated that he was not involved in the film and his name would not be in the film's credits. 12. Daniel Orlandi returned as costume designer for the film after doing so on Logan. 9:55 He worked with Kinberg to come up with costumes for the X-Men that were closer to the original comic designs that Kinberg had wanted to see in the films since he first joined the franchise, but had never been in a position to control before. The final costumes for the film feature the yellow and blue design of the original comics, but combine features of designs from many different incarnations of the group. Kinberg also looked to Logan for general design inspiration, wanting to replicate the naturalistic and handmade quality of that film for the costumes, sets, props, and title design. He felt that this would give more impact to the large-scale elements of the film, and help it be more emotional, comparing this idea to the original Star Wars films. 9. Filming. Principal photography began on June 28, 2017, in Montreal, Quebec 4956 under the working title Teen Spirit. 57 Mauro Fiore served as cinematographer. 58 Filming primarily took place at Mel's Studios. 59 Before the end of the month, Evan Peters was set to reprise his role as audience favorite character Quicksilver from the previous films, and Lamar Johnson joined the cast in an undisclosed role. 60 At the start of August, Chastain confirmed her involvement in the film. 61 She was interested in the story, after turning down roles in other superhero films, due to its focus on female characters. 62 She later revealed that she was not actually playing Lilandra. 63 Kinberg said he wanted the film to be human and emotional like previous X-Men films, and that he was looking to ground the Dark Phoenix saga story for his adaptation so it's not too intergalactic. 64 He later clarified that the film would still include alien characters as in the comic storyline, an element that was ignored for the Last Stand adaptation, but which he felt was integral to the story. 65-7 He also said that the film would tonally be less operatic than previous X-Men films, which he hoped would make it more relatable for audiences. 65 By September, Daniel Cudmore had stated that he would be appearing in the film, but could not confirm whether he would be reprising his role as Colossus from previous films in the franchise. 20 Olivia Munn initially said that she would reprise her role as Psylocke. 66 But by February 2019 she revealed that she was unable to reprise her role due to scheduling conflicts with filming The Predator, 2018. 67 Filming was completed on October 14, 2017. 56-68 Post-production. In December 2017, Kinberg revealed that the film would be in post-production for almost a year, longer than usual for the series, because he wanted to take the time to have the visual effects look right by focusing on the nuance of the effects, rather than the scale. 69 He also explained that he felt in his gut that this was the story he needed to tell once Singer left the franchise, and that his vision for the film was so clear in my head, emotionally and visually, that it would have killed me to hand this to somebody else to direct. The film was described as being the most sinister and somber of the franchise, with McAvoy finding it to be the most emotional of the X-Men films he had worked on. It becomes a fight for Jean's soul and features a twist that was intended to have significant repercussions on the entire franchise. 70 Lawrence revealed that she had worked to convince Kinberg to direct the film, and had promised to return for it if he did so, despite her dislike of the makeup required to portray her character. 71 It was revealed that the film would introduce a version of the island Genosha, adapted to the film as a mutant refuge led by Magneto 8, and that it would focus on the female characters more so than previous films in the series, particularly Jean Grey, as both the protagonist and antagonist of the story, and Chastain's character, with whom Grey has a complex relationship. 62 Fox delayed the film's release in March 2018, pushing it back from November 2, 2018, to February 14, 2019. 72 This was because Fox and Kinberg wanted to schedule some routine reshoots for the film after receiving feedback from audiences during a test screening, but were not able to get all of the necessary cast members together until August or September 2018. This would not have left enough time to complete post-production work, such as visual effects, for the additional footage before the November 2018 release date. 73 specifically, Kinberg was looking to rework the third act of the film, and rewrote part of the script ahead of the reshoots. With post-production already underway, the film was believed to have been under budget, while the planned reshoots would cost less than $10 million. Additionally, Kinberg and the studio had been looking to change the film's release date for some time to avoid competing with the Christmas-oriented film The Nutcracker and the Four Realms, 2018. The new February release date was noted as having the film opening away from other major studio films, while placing it on President's Day weekend, which had proved to be successful for Deadpool and Marvel's Black Panther, 2018. 74 Addressing the reshoots, Kinberg confirmed the scheduling delays, and described the photography as a normal part of the film's creation that would allow him enough time to have it ready and looking perfect. 75. At the end of April, a Fox panel at the 2018 Cinemacon revealed the first logo for the film. It did not include X-Men in the title, but included a circle around the X in Dark Phoenix, which was compared to the logo of the X-Files. 76 The film was later confirmed to be simply titled Dark Phoenix in the United States, and X-Men, Dark Phoenix for release internationally. 9 By that August, the reshoots were expected to take place in Montreal over 2.5 weeks, though the Quebec Film and Television Bureau believed that these reshoots would take up to 3 months to complete, due to scheduling conflicts among the cast members. 59-77 The reshoots were set to take place at MTL Grande Studios, since Mel's Studios was reserved for another production during the reshoot period 59 and had begun by August 31st. 78 At the end of September, after the release of the film's first trailer, Fox again delayed the film's release, setting it for June 7, 2019. This date was seen as a better time to release the film in China, where the trailer received more attention than it did in the United States, while also allowing it to take advantage of premium screens that had previously been reserved for Fox's newly delayed, and later cancelled, Gambit film. 79-80 The move was also reportedly to appease James Cameron, who had Alita, Battle Angel, 2019, moved from December to February due to concerns Cameron had about releasing Alita during a crowded holiday season and did not want competition from another Fox would-be blockbuster. Kinberg and Dark Phoenix producers opposed the change, as the film was not made for a summer release and was facing heavy competition. 81. In January 2019, Lana Condor revealed that she was unable to return as Jubilee due to her commitment to the film To All the Boys I've Loved Before, 2018. 82 Lee Smith served as editor for the film. 83 Visual effects were provided by MPC, Mel's, Rising Sun Pictures, Rodeo FX, Scanline VFX, and Soho VFX, with Phil Brennan serving as the main visual effects supervisor. 84. Music. Main article, Dark Phoenix, soundtrack. Hans Zimmer was reported to compose music for the film in January 2018. 85 Despite his statement in March 2016, saying that he had officially retired from the superhero business. 86 Following his experience working on Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, 2016. 87 In another interview that September, Zimmer justified his statement on his conversations with Ron Howard, who convinced him not keep to a blanket view and avoid an entire genre, instead focusing on waiting for the right story. 88 Impressed by Kinberg's narration and vision, Zimmer agreed to join the production. 89-88 And wrote new themes for X-Men, Magneto, and the Phoenix, and omitted previously established themes written by John Ottman. The score album was released by Fox Music on June 7, 2019, alongside the film. 90. The soundtrack initially received a mixed critical response. 91 A second album, entitled Experiments from Dark Phoenix, featuring previously unreleased music written for the film, was announced in late July, after the material, consisting of a 2-disc set, with the additional score in the second disc, was remained unreleased and fan-led petitions to release the score was made. 92 Fox Music and Zimmer studio company Remote Control Productions released the album on August 5, 2019, which received a fairly positive response. 93. Marketing. Left to right, writer-director Simon Kinberg, producer Hutch Parker, and stars Sophie Turner, Ty Sheridan, Nicholas Hoult, Alexandra Shipp, Evan Peters, and Cody Smith-McPhee promoting Dark Phoenix at the 2019 WonderCon. On September 26, 2018, Turner revealed the first trailer for Dark Phoenix on The Late Late Show with James Corden before Fox released it online. Responses to the trailer widely considered it to be too similar to X-Men: The Last Stand. 94. Graham McMillan and Aaron Couch of The Hollywood Reporter wrote that this feeling could have been avoided if the trailer had shown more of the film's space and alien elements, which would have differentiated it from the Last Stand adaptation. 95. Scott Mendelson at Forbes called the trailer dull, and said that its focusing on the characters, rather than big effects or action, was a risk by Fox, given that audiences have indicated through the box office numbers of X-Men: Apocalypse that they are not necessarily interested in this version of the X-Men characters. 96. The trailer was watched 8 million times within 24 hours on Fox's YouTube channel, but received 44 million views within that same time period across Chinese social media platforms, leading to Fox refocusing their release plans on China. 79. A second trailer was released on February 27, 2019, followed by a third and final trailer on April 17. Some press estimated that Fox spent a total of around $90 million promoting the film. 97. In March 2019, Vanity Fair reported that the film faced promotional difficulties because long-term employees of the Fox marketing team had been laid off after Fox's merger with Disney. They reported that a Fox marketing executive said, "We know when we are dropping a trailer, but we are nowhere near where we should be at this time. It's frightening. I would be mad if I were a filmmaker." 98. Similar reports were made after the film's release, with The Hollywood Reporter stating that, based on an NRG tracking poll taken in May, the film had lower awareness rates than any other film in the series. 99. Deadline Hollywood reported that they had been hearing about the marketing campaign being in disarray since February and cited this as a major factor in the film's financial failure. They also reported that Disney had attempted to integrate the film into their marketing department, but they did not have enough time, which Kinberg confirmed in a KCRW podcast. 101. On May 23, 2019, a music video for Extraordinary Being by Emily Sandé was released, which featured footage from Dark Phoenix. 102. Release. Dark Phoenix, which was distributed by 20th Century Fox. 103 had its world premiere on June 4, 2019, at the TCL Chinese Theater in Hollywood, California. 104 Its United States theatrical release began on June 7, 2019. Dark Phoenix was originally going to be the first Marvel movie starring a female superhero, when it was originally slated for November 2, 2018 45, but that went to Brie Larson and Captain Marvel when the Dark Phoenix release date was changed and moved away from Captain Marvel. Rescheduled for February 14, 2019 72, a month before Captain Marvel. 105 before being pushed to June 79. The film was titled X-Men: Dark Phoenix outside of the United States. 9. Dark Phoenix was released in the US on digital download by 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment on September 3, 2019, and was released on Ultra HD Blu-ray, and DVD on September 17. 106. On June 3, 2021, Disney announced that Dark Phoenix would be available to stream on Disney Plus starting September 3. 107. Reception. Box office. Dark Phoenix grossed $65.9 million in the United States and Canada, and $186.6 million in other territories, for a worldwide total of $252.4 million. 5. Deadline Hollywood calculated the net loss of the film to be $133 million, when factoring together all expenses and revenues. 108.97. In the United States and Canada, Dark Phoenix was released alongside The Secret Life of Pets 2, and was initially projected to gross $50 to $60 million from 3,721 theaters in its opening weekend, with the studio expecting a $50 million debut. 109.4. However, after making $14 million on its first day, including $5 million from Thursday night previews, projections were lowered to $34 million. It ended up debuting to $32.8 million, 49.9% of total gross, finishing second behind The Secret Life of Pets 2. 110. This was, at the time, the lowest opening weekend total of any film in the franchise by $20 million, and the first time an X-Men film did not top the box office the week of its release. 111. In its second weekend, the film fell 72% to $9.4 million, finishing fifth. 112. The following weekend, the film was pulled from 1,667 theaters and made $3.5 million, finishing 10th. 113. In other territories, the film was projected to gross $120 to $135 million, including $50 to $60 million from China, for a global debut of around $170 million. 114. It ended up debuting to just $104 million internationally and $137 million worldwide. Its largest markets were China, $31.9 million, South Korea, $5.6 million, Mexico, $4.8 million, and the United Kingdom, $4.8 million. 115. Critical response. The film received mixed to negative reviews from critics. On Rotten Tomatoes, Dark Phoenix holds an approval rating of 22% based on 384 reviews and has an average rating of 4.6/10. The site's critical consensus reads, Dark Phoenix ends an era of the X-Men franchise by taking a second stab at adapting a classic comics arc with deeply disappointing results. 116. It is the lowest rated installment of the X-Men film series on the website. 117. On Metacritic, the film has a weighted average score of 43 out of 100 based on 52 critics, indicating mixed or average reviews. 118. Audiences polled by CinemaScore gave the film an average grade of B on an A+ to F scale, and those at Post-Track gave it an overall positive score of 69%, with an average 3 out of 5 stars, and a 49% definite recommend. 111. Writing for The Wrap, William Bibbiani said of the film, "It would be wonderful to report that Dark Phoenix was an impressive send-off to this long-running franchise. Instead it's just a disappointingly average superhero flick, with a familiar story, disinterested actors, some cool action sequences, and a whole lot of missed opportunities." 119. Michael Phillips of the Chicago Tribune gave the film 1.5 out of 4 stars and said, "It's hard to even render an opinion on the discrete strengths and weaknesses of a franchise that has devolved to the point of Dark Phoenix, a lavishly brutal chore nearly as violent as the Wolverine movie Logan and a movie featuring more death by impalement and whirling metal than all the Saw movies put together." 120. Matt Goldberg of Collider gave the film a grade of D and wrote, "When Marvel Studios inevitably reboots X-Men, a movie like Dark Phoenix will be a forgotten relic. The characters and their world deserve better, but we'll have to wait until their next evolution." 121. Kurt Loder of Reason magazine wrote, "There are several things wrong with Dark Phoenix. I'm tempted to say everything is wrong with it, except that the picture is largely in focus and the credits appear to be correctly spelled. Other than that, though." 122. Rodrigo Perez of The Playlist said, "It's atrocious, expository dialogue, cumbersome plot, whiplashing character motivations, unintentionally funny moments, and often corny costumes ensure Dark Phoenix will be remembered in the annals of mediocre movies." 123. Conversely, Variety's Owen Gleiberman summarized his positive review with, "The X-Men franchise wraps up, with a functionally plotted sequel that attains a note of ominous majesty, thanks to Sophie Turner's presence as an X-woman consumed by the awesomeness of her power." 1. Kate Erbland of IndieWire and Ann Cohen of Refinery29 criticized certain moments of the film, particularly a moment in which Raven suggests that the name of the team be changed to the X-Women, for attempting to pander to female audiences, which they described as cheeky, inorganic, and condescending. They compared these to similar moments in other blockbuster films, and Erbland felt that they distracted from more constructive aspects of its female-centric perspective. 124-125 Nikolai Nikolov of Mashable wrote that the feminist messages of the film were a refreshing attempt to fix some of the mistakes made in the past. 126 However, in the behind-the-scenes feature The Making of Dark Phoenix, both the cast and crew state they did not intend to make a feminist message. Kinberg took responsibility for the film's poor reception, stating, "I'm here, I'm saying when a movie doesn't work, put it on me. I'm the writer-director, the movie didn't connect with audiences, that's on me." 127. Accolades. The film was nominated for 2 Golden Raspberry Awards, but did not win either of them. It was nominated in the category Worst Prequel, Remake, Rip-Off or Sequel, and Jessica Chastain was nominated as Worst Supporting Actress, but lost to Rambo, Last Blood and Rebel Wilson in Cats, respectively. 128. Post-release. Cancelled sequels. In May 2016, Kinberg said that Dark Phoenix would be the first in a new trilogy focusing on the younger versions of the original X-Men characters who had been introduced in Apocalypse. 27. It was initially planned as a 2-film story 129 with the parts to be filmed back-to-back. However, in late pre-production the studio decided to only produce 1 film with the prequel cast, as new management did not want any more X-Men movies set in the past due to the reception of X-Men, Apocalypse, resulting in rewrites such as replacing the Hellfire Club with alien antagonists. 130 However, Kinberg still hoped that the Phoenix story could continue in a potential sequel. 131 There were also plans for an eventual third film that would have been a crossover with the New Mutants series based on the Inferno storyline. 132-133 But those plans were ultimately cancelled after the acquisition of 21st Century Fox by Disney caused the film rights to revert to Marvel Studios. This resulted in footage being cut from both Dark Phoenix and the New Mutants, 2020, that had been intended to be expanded upon in sequels. 134. Claremont confirmed the 2-film plan and revealed that this film centers on Jean as Phoenix and the second was going to feature Dark Phoenix. According to Claremont, the film's purpose is to make the audience fall in love with Jean, while the purpose of the second was to break their hearts. 135-136. According to visual effects supervisor Greg Butler, Dark Phoenix is meant to be an origin story about Jean Grey becoming the Phoenix. While the cosmic aspect of the saga would have been adapted in the second part of the 2-film story. 36 In June 2017, it was rumored that the Shi'ar alien race would be featured in the film 137 and Angelina Jolie was being looked at for a role, though she was not expected to accept the part. Chastain was also potentially being considered for the same character. 138 Chastain herself had admitted her character kept changing. 139 adding that she did not even know that her character was named Vuk until she saw the movie. 140. Claremont remarked, "My problem with both iterations of Dark Phoenix on screen, the original by Brett Ratner and the newer version by Simon Kinberg, is, I don't think you can do it effectively in 90 minutes. You can tell a good story in that time frame, which I think Simon did, but it's not the evocation of the story that Dave and John and Paul and I created. It doesn't have the impact of knowing the characters and their dynamics and building to it conclusively in this narrative way. The challenge is, in terms of a canon like X-Men, it's more like Harry Potter and Hogwarts, or Game of Thrones." It needs time and space to evolve and to bring the reader or viewer in and give them a result that's worth the investment of that time. 141. Kinberg stated that, if he had 4 hours to tell the story, he would have included the Hellfire Club and Lilandra Naramani. 142. Marvel Cinematic Universe. Shortly after the Walt Disney Company bought 20th Century Studios from Fox, actor Sebastian Stan, who portrays Bucky Barnes/Winter Soldier in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, stated that it was possible for Hugh Jackman to return as Wolverine, if Jackman chooses to return to the role. 143. Later in March 2019, Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige was reported to have approached several members of the original X-Men cast. This was later confirmed by Patrick Stewart, who was asked to reprise his role as Professor X and did so in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, 2022. 144. 145. The writer of the film Michael Waldron stated that this was an alternate version of the character but confirmed that the X-Men series was canon to the MCU multiverse. 146. Kelsey Grammer also reprised his role as Beast in the post-credit scene of The Marvels. In 2020, Feige announced at San Diego Comic-Con that an untitled mutant-centered project was in the works at Marvel Studios. 147. Deadpool and Wolverine, 2024, serves as a sequel to Deadpool 2 and a spin-off of Logan. Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds reprised their respective roles of Wolverine and Deadpool, with the film taking place after the events of Logan. 148. 149. 150, from which Daphne Keane reprised her role as X-23. 151. Aaron Stanford and Tyler Mane also reprised their roles as Pyro and Sabretooth. 152. Additionally, Karen Sony, Leslie Uggams, Morena Baccarin, Stefan Kopicic, Rob Delaney, Brianna Hildebrand, Louis Tan and Giola Kutsuna reprised their roles as Dopinder and Blind Al, Vanessa Carlisle, Colossus, Peter Wisdom, Negasonic Teenage Warhead, Shatterstar, and Yukio from the previous Deadpool films, respectively. James McAvoy, /MKV/, born April 21, 1979, is a Scottish actor and director. He made his acting debut as a teen in The Near Room, 1995, and appeared mostly on television until 2003, when his film career began. His notable television work includes the thriller State of Play, 2003, the science fiction miniseries Frank Herbert's Children of Dune, 2003, and the drama series Shameless, 2004 to 2005. McAvoy gained recognition for playing Mr. Tumnus in the fantasy film The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, 2005, and an assassin in the action film Wanted, 2008. After winning the inaugural BAFTA Rising Star Award in 2006, his performances in the period dramas The Last King of Scotland, 2006, and Atonement, 2007, gained him BAFTA Award nominations. In 2011 he voiced the title characters in Arthur Christmas and Romeo and Juliet, and portrayed Charles Xavier in the superhero film X-Men, First Class, a role he reprised in future installments of the X-Men series. McAvoy gained praise for starring in the independent crime film Filth, 2013, and as a superpowered man with 23 dissociative identities in M. Night Shyamalan's Split, 2016, and its successor Glass, 2019. He portrayed Lord Asriel in the fantasy series His Dark Materials from 2019 to 2022, and starred as Bill Denbrough in the horror film It Chapter 2, 2019. On stage, McAvoy has performed in several West End productions, such as 3 Days of Rain in 2010, Macbeth in 2013, The Ruling Class in 2015, and Cyrano de Bergerac in 2020, for which he received 4 nominations for the Laurence Olivier Award for Best Actor. Early life. McAvoy was born on April 21, 1979 in Glasgow. 1-2 to bus driver turned builder James McAvoy Sr. and psychiatric nurse Elizabeth, née Johnstone, died 2018. 345 He was brought up as a Roman Catholic. 6 His parents separated when he was 7 and divorced when he was 11. 3 McAvoy's mother suffered from poor health and subsequently sent him to live with his maternal grandparents, Mary and James Johnstone, in the nearby Drum Chapel area of Glasgow. 7 His mother lived with them intermittently. 3 McAvoy has a younger sister named Joy and a younger half-brother named Donald. 3 McAvoy confirmed in an interview with The Guardian that both his parents were deceased. 8 But he had not been in contact with his father since childhood. 3 He attended the Catholic St. Thomas Aquinas Secondary School in the Jordan Hill area of Glasgow and briefly considered joining the priesthood. 9-10 In a 2006 interview, McAvoy said he considered becoming a priest as a child because it seemed to be a way to explore the world via missionary work. 11 During his education, he worked at a local bakery. 9-10 McAvoy applied to join the Royal Navy and had already been accepted when he was also offered a place to study acting at the Royal Scottish Academy of Music and Drama, RSAMD, now the Royal Conservatoire of Scotland. 12 After graduating in 2000, he moved to London. Career. Early work. McAvoy's acting debut was at the age of 15 years in The Near Room, 1995. He later admitted that he was not very interested in acting when joining the film, but was inspired to study acting after developing feelings for his co-star, Alana Brady. 13 He continued to act while still a member of Pace Youth Theatre. 14-15 McAvoy graduated from the Royal Scottish Academy of Music and Drama in 2000. 16 Throughout the early 2000s, he made guest appearances in television shows and began working in film. In 2001, McAvoy's performance as a gay hustler in the play Out in the Open impressed director Joe Wright so much that Wright began offering McAvoy parts in his films. McAvoy kept declining them, however, and it was not until 6 years later that the two worked together. 16. He appeared in Privates on Parade in the Donmar warehouse, where he was noticed by Sam Mendes. 3 In 2001, the actor appeared as Private James W. Miller in Band of Brothers, an 11-hour World War II miniseries by executive producers Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks. 17-18 He gained the attention of critics in 2002's White Teeth, a 4-part television drama miniseries adaptation based on the novel of the same name by Zadie Smith. 19 In 2022, McAvoy commented that Smith didn't say he was bad at playing the part. She told him he was the wrong casting, because he was too little, the character should have been more overweight. 8. In 2003, McAvoy appeared in the Sci-Fi Channel miniseries Frank Herbert's Children of Dune, adapted from Frank Herbert's novels. 20 He then accepted the role of an unprincipled reporter in 2003's State of Play. 21 The 6-part drama serial tells the story of a newspaper's investigation into the death of a young woman and was broadcast on BBC One. 22-23 Calling the program a must-see, the Chicago Tribune recommended State of Play for its cast's performance. 24 In 2002, McAvoy shot scenes for Bollywood Queen, described as West Side Story meets Romeo and Juliet with bindies. It was shown as a special presentation at the 2003 Sundance Film Festival and opened in UK cinemas on October 17. 25-26. In 2004, he acted in the romantic comedy Wimbledon. 27 His next project was voicing a character named Hal in the 2004 English version of Strings, a mythic fantasy film. 28 Another 2004 release for him was Inside I'm Dancing, an Irish production directed by Damien O'Donnell starring alongside Stephen Robertson. In it, he was cast as one of the two principal characters, a maverick with Duchenne muscular dystrophy. 29 McAvoy ended 2004 by appearing in the first 2 seasons of Shameless as Steve McBride. 2000s. In 2005, he appeared in Walt Disney Pictures' The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe 30 made by Andrew Adamson and based on C.S. Lewis's children's novel. He appeared as Tumnus, a faun who befriends Lucy Pevensie, played by Georgie Henley, and joins Aslan, Liam Neeson's forces. It was given a UK release of December 9. At the UK box office, the film opened at number 1, earning around £8.7 million at 498 cinemas over the weekend. 31 worldwide, Narnia grossed £463 million. 32 in 2006 he accepted the role of Brian Jackson, a nerdy university student who wins a place on a university challenge quiz team in the mid-1980s, in Starter for 10. He was directed by David Nichols, who adapted the film's screenplay from his own book. The British-American production was given distribution in the UK on November 10. In spite of the positive buzz, the film flopped at the box office, unable to recover its production costs of £5.7 million. 33-34. Forrest Whitaker had suggested McAvoy to director Kevin MacDonald for the role of Nicholas Garrigan in 2006's low-budgeted The Last King of Scotland. 35 McAvoy portrayed a Scottish doctor who becomes the personal physician to dictator Idi Amin, played by Whitaker, while in Uganda. While the film is based on factual events of Amin's rule, the details of the story and the character McAvoy played are fictional and adapted from Giles Foden's 1998 novel. McAvoy assessed his character to be a completely selfish prick. 11:36 McAvoy was named Best Actor of the Year by Scotland's own BAFTA Awards, where the film swept the major categories 37 and received a nomination for the BAFTA Award for Best Actor in a Supporting Role. The film received 3 awards, including the Outstanding British Film of the Year. 38-39. Following that, he played Irish attorney Tom Lefroy and love interest to Jane Austen in Becoming Jane, a 2007 historical film inspired by the author's early life. 40. Next up was Penelope, which premiered at the 2006 Toronto International Film Festival. 41. Also starring Christina Ricci, it generated Polarist reviews. 42. The breakthrough role in McAvoy's career came in Atonement, Joe Wright's 2007 adaptation of Ian McEwan's novel of the same title. A romantic war film, it focuses on lovers Cecilia and Robbie's, Keira Knightley and McAvoy, lives being torn apart after her jealous younger sister Bryony, Saoirse Ronan, falsely accuses him of rape. Upon reading the script, McAvoy said he thought, if I don't get the part I'm not reading the book because it'll be devastating. It's an amazing role and I really wanted it. 43. McAvoy has called the film incredibly sad but considers it an uplifting experience. He also shared that he hoped viewers will be left absolutely devastated and harrowed. Screenings of Atonement were held at the 2007 Toronto International Film Festival, where it was one of the most acclaimed films present, and Venice Film Festival. 44-45 Atonement was a big awards contender, it was nominated for 14 BAFTAs and 7 Academy Awards. 46-47 Both McAvoy and Knightley were nominated for their performances at the 65th Golden Globe Awards, respectively. 48-49 The Hollywood Reporter writer Ray Bennett said the duo gave compelling and charismatic performances. 50 In December 2022, McAvoy stated that McEwan was not entirely satisfied with his casting as Robbie in Atonement. He wasn't disparaging. He just gave me nothing. And I was a bit devastated. Then he said I was a bit small, because my character, Robbie, was meant to be the 6 feet tanned Adonis, and I was a 25-year-old pasty Glaswegian who's 5 feet nothing. His next role saw McAvoy appear with Angelina Jolie and Morgan Freeman in Wanted, 2008, an action film where he portrayed Wesley Gibson, a young American slacker who learns he is heir to a legacy of assassins. When McAvoy screen tested for the role, he was initially rejected because the studio was seeking an actor with conventional Hollywood leading man looks and physique. He later recalled being considered the runt of the litter of those who tested, but ultimately got the role in late 2006 since the studio wanted someone geeky. 51-52 While shooting action scenes for Wanted, he suffered several injuries, including a twisted ankle and an injured knee. 53 Nonetheless, The actor said he had a good time whilst making the film. McAvoy had not previously done this type of genre, and thought of Wanted as a chance to be more versatile. 54. Loosely based on the comic book miniseries of the same name by Mark Millar, it saw a June 2008 release worldwide. It received favorable reviews from the press, who generally liked that it was fast-paced. 55. At the box office, Wanted was a success, grossing $341 million against a $75 million production budget. 56. Next was The Last Station, 2009, a biopic that details the final months of celebrated writer Leo Tolstoy and also stars Anne-Marie Duff, McAvoy's wife at the time. 57. It was shown at a limited number of screens in the US. 58. Although most critics' awards paid attention to co-stars Helen Mirren and Christopher Plummer, the Satellite Awards nominated McAvoy for Best Supporting Actor. 59. In 2009, McAvoy voiced Angelina's father, Maurice Mauseeling, in the television series, Angelina Ballerina, The Next Steps. He also appeared on stage in 2009 at Apollo Theater's 3 Days of Rain. 60. 2010s. McAvoy at the 2010 Toronto International Film Festival. He voiced the male titular character in the film Romeo and Juliet, 2011, an animated movie based on William Shakespeare's play Romeo and Juliet. 61. In Robert Redford's historical American drama The Conspirator, McAvoy played the role of an idealistic war hero who reluctantly defends co-conspirator Mary Surratt, Robin Wright, charged in the Abraham Lincoln assassination. It premiered at the 2010 Toronto International Film Festival. 62. While this movie garnered mixed reception, critics lauded the actor for his work. In Owen Gleiberman's assessment of The Conspirator, he found it stiff-jointed and tedious, but regarded McAvoy as an avid presence. 63. In mid-2010, McAvoy was cast as telepathic superhero Professor X, leader and founder of the X-Men, in X-Men, First Class. 64. He joined an ensemble that included Michael Fassbender, Jennifer Lawrence, and Nicholas Hoult. Based on the Marvel Comics and a prequel to the film series, it focuses on the relationship between Professor X and Magneto and the origin of their groups. McAvoy did not read comics as a child, but was a fan of the X-Men animated cartoon series. 65. Released to the UK on June 1st, First Class topped its box office with ticket sales of around £5 million in its opening weekend. 66. First Class was reviewed favorably and McAvoy's performance was widely praised. 67. In 2011, he began filming the role of Max Lewinsky in the British thriller Welcome to the Punch. 68. That same year, McAvoy voiced the title character in the animated holiday film Arthur Christmas. He also played the lead role in the Danny Boyle film Trance. In 2012, McAvoy was cast as Bruce Robertson in Filth, an adaptation of the Irvine Welsh novel of the same name. The film's ensemble cast includes McAvoy's former classmate Shauna MacDonald as his wife, as well as Jamie Bell, Jim Broadbent, Eddie Marsan, and Imogen Poots. For his role, McAvoy won Best Actor at the British Independent Film Awards in December 2013. 69-70. It was also announced that he would co-star with Jessica Chastain in a double feature film project, The Disappearance of Eleanor Rigby. 71. He performed the male lead in radio play adaptation of Neverwhere written by Neil Gaiman. 72. In October 2016, McAvoy played the character Richard in the BBC Radio 4 production of Neil Gaiman's short story How the Marquis Got His Coat Back. 73. McAvoy starred in Shakespeare's Macbeth on London's West End in early 2013. Macbeth was the first performance at the Trafalgar Transformed, running from February 9 until April 27. The production was directed by Jamie Lloyd, who also directed McAvoy in his last stint on the stage in 2009's 3 Days of Rain. 74. In 2015, McAvoy won the Best Actor award at London's Evening Standard Theatre Awards for his portrayal of Jack Gurney in the ruling Class 75, a revival of the Peter Barnes play directed by Jamie Lloyd. It ran at Trafalgar Studios from January 16 to April 11, 2015. McAvoy reprised his role as Professor X in X-Men: Days of Future Past, 2014, which grossed $747.9 million worldwide, making it the sixth highest grossing film of the year 2014 and the second highest grossing film in the X-Men franchise and in 2016's X-Men: Apocalypse. 76-77 in 2016, he starred in the M. Night Shyamalan thriller Split as Kevin Wendell Crumb, a dissociative identity disorder sufferer with dangerous capabilities. 78-79 in 2018, McAvoy voiced Hazel in the BBC miniseries Watership Down. In 2019, he reprised his role as Crumb in Glass 80 and then returned as Professor X in the film Dark Phoenix. 81 McAvoy played the adult Bill Denbrough in the horror film It Chapter 2, the sequel to It, 2017, which premiered on 6 September 2019, 82 and grossed $473 million at the box office. Also in 2019, McAvoy starred as Lord Asriel in the television adaptation of his Dark Materials. 83-84. 2020s. McAvoy voiced Dream in Audible's audio drama adaptation of The Sandman by Neil Gaiman in July 2020. 85 McAvoy starred in the Jamie Lloyd Company production of Cyrano de Bergerac, which opened in the West End's Harold Pinter Theatre on February 3, 2022, for which he won a What's on Stage award for Best Performer in a Male-Identifying Role. He continued his performance in a limited run at the Harvey Theatre at Brooklyn Academy of Music, BAM, opening the show stateside on April 5, 2022 and running until May 22, 2022. 86 He began principal photography on his directorial debut, California Schemin', in Scotland in November 2024. 87. Personal life. While working on Shameless, McAvoy began dating co-star Anne-Marie Duff, who played his character's love interest. They married on 11 November 2006, 88, and their son was born in 2010. 89 McAvoy and Duff announced their decision to divorce in May 2016, 90, and to minimize disruption to their son's life, they initially shared a home in North London when not working elsewhere. 91 McAvoy later began a relationship with Lisa Liberty, whom he had met on the set of Split, 2016, where she worked as a personal assistant to director M. Night Shyamalan. In early 2022, he confirmed they had privately married after years of speculation. 92 The couple have a son born in 2022. 93. After McAvoy won the Rising Star Award from the BAFTAs, his estranged father spoke to the Sunday Mirror, stating that he would love to get in touch with his son but did not know how to contact him. Although he did not read the piece, McAvoy heard about it and was unmoved. 3. McAvoy considers himself a spiritual person who no longer practices Catholicism. 10 He enjoys fantasy themes, which he said started from age 11 with reading The Lord of the Rings. 94. McAvoy is a fan of Scottish Premiership team Celtic FC, stating that his dream acting role would be Celtic player Jimmy Johnstone. 95 He had once been a video game addict, playing role-playing games such as The Legend of Zelda, Secret of Mana, and The Elder Scrolls 4, Oblivion, which he quit after it began affecting his life. McAvoy recalled burning his disc of Oblivion with a kitchen stove to get rid of his addiction to the game. 96. Speaking to Sky News in 2011, McAvoy said he believed that British filmmakers belittlingly attempt to dumb down their productions to please American audiences. 97 He had previously called 3D films a waste of money, accusing film studios of using the effect to get more money out of cinema audiences. 98. In September 2025, McAvoy was punched by a man at a bar in Toronto, Ontario. The man drank too much and was getting escorted out of the bar. McAvoy was in the city for the Toronto International Film Festival premiere of his film California Schemin', at the time. He stayed at the bar after the incident. 99-100. Philanthropy. In 2011, McAvoy did a base jump from the world's tallest hospital building in a bid to help raise money for Ugandan children's charity Retrack, which assists children on the streets. 101 After this, he continued to support Retrack. 102 Additionally, he is a supporter of the British Red Cross, with whom he travelled to Uganda to raise awareness of the projects there. He had become involved with the charity after shooting The Last King of Scotland there for several months and was shocked by what he saw. 103 In February 2007, he visited northern Uganda and spent 4 days seeing projects supported by the British Red Cross. 104. In 2015, McAvoy pledged £125,000 to a 10-year scholarship programme at his former drama school, the Royal Conservatoire of Scotland. 105 In March 2020, McAvoy donated £275,000 to a crowdfunding campaign to help the NHS mitigate the COVID-19 pandemic in the United Kingdom. Michael Fassbender, German pronunciation, male Fassbender, born April 2, 1977, is a German-Irish actor. His accolades include nominations for 2 Academy Awards, 4 British Academy Film Awards and 3 Golden Globe Awards. In 2020, he was listed at number 9 on the Irish Times list of Ireland's greatest film actors. 1. After studying at the Drama Centre London, Fassbender made his feature film debut in 300, 2006. Early roles include in the HBO miniseries Band of Brothers, 2001, and the Sky One fantasy drama Hex, 2004 to 2005. He first came to prominence playing Bobby Sands in the drama Hunger, 2008. Subsequent roles include the 2009 films Fish Tank and Inglorious Bastard, and the 2011 films Jane Eyre and A Dangerous Method. He gained mainstream success for playing Eric Lane's Magneto in the X-Men series, and David 8 and Walter 1 in Prometheus, 2012, and its sequel, Alien, Covenant, 2017. For his portrayal of a sex addict in Steve McQueen's drama Shame, 2011, he won the Volpe Cup for Best Actor. His portrayals of Edwin Epps in the historical drama 12 Years a Slave, 2013, and title role in biographical drama Steve Jobs, 2015, respectively, earned him nominations for the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor and Best Actor. Following further roles in the films The Counselor, 2013, Frank, 2014, and Macbeth, 2015, he took an 8-year hiatus, during which he began competing in auto racing. After driving for Proton competition in the European Le Mans Series in 2023, Fassbender made a return to acting with the action films The Killer, 2023, and Black Bag, 2025. Married to Swedish actress Alicia Vikander since 2017, he has 2 children. Early life. Fassbender was born on April 2, 1977 in Heidelberg, Baden-Württemberg, West Germany. His mother, Adele, is originally from Larne, County Antrim, Northern Ireland, and his father, Joseph Fassbender, is German. 3-4 Fassbender has an elder sister named Catherine, a neuropsychologist at the Mind Institute in Sacramento, California, United States. 5-6 According to lore on her side of family, Adele is the great-grandniece of Michael Collins, an Irish leader during the War of Independence. 7-8 At the age of 2, Fassbender moved to Killarney, County Kerry, Ireland, where Joseph and Adele were to operate a restaurant named the West End House. Joseph also worked as a chef in the restaurant. The couple chose Killarney because they wanted their children to grow up in the countryside, in contrast to the industrial backdrop of their previous German residence. 3-7 Fassbender, who was raised Catholic, served as an altar boy at the church his family attended. 9. He and Catherine spent summer holidays in Germany. 10. He attended Fossa National School in Fossa 11 and St. Brendan's College in Killarney. 12. Fassbender decided to become an actor at the age of 17 when he was cast in a play. He left home to study at the Drama Centre London at the age of 19. In 1999, Fassbender dropped out of the Drama Centre and toured with the Oxford Stage Company to perform the play Three Sisters. 5. Before finding steady work as an actor, he worked as a bartender, postman, manual labourer, market researcher for Royal Mail and Dell employee. 14-15. Acting career. 2001 to 2005, television work. Fassbender at the 2009 Cannes Film Festival. Fassbender's first screen role was that of Pat Christensen in Tom Hanks and Steven Spielberg's award-winning television miniseries Band of Brothers, 2001. 16. He played the character of Azazel in both series of Hex on Sky One and starred as the main character in the music video for the song Blind Pilots by the British band the Cooper Temple Claws. In the video, he plays the part of a man out with friends on a stag night who slowly transforms into a goat due to wearing a cowbell necklace. 16. Fassbender played Jonathan Harker in a 10-part radio serialization of Dracula produced by BBC Northern Ireland and broadcast in the Book at Bedtime series between November 24 and December 5, 2003. He was also seen in early 2004 in a Guinness television commercial, The Quarrel, playing a man who swims across the ocean from Ireland to apologize personally to his brother in New York. 17. This commercial won a gold medal at the 2005 FAB Awards. 18-19. On the 2006 Edinburgh Festival Fringe, Fassbender played Michael Collins, his great-great-granduncle. 2021 in Allegiance, a play by Mary Kenny based on the meeting between Collins and Winston Churchill. 20. In addition, Fassbender produced, directed, and starred in a stage version of Quentin Tarantino's Reservoir Dogs. 16. Along with his production company, he appeared in Angel, UK title, The Real Life of Angel Deverell, about the rise and fall of an eccentric young British writer, played by Romola Garai, in the early 20th century. Fassbender plays her love interest, an average painter named Esme. 16. The drama, the first English-language effort by French director François Ozon and based on the novel by Elizabeth Taylor, premiered on February 17, 2007 at the Berlin International Film Festival and on March 14, 2007 in Paris. He then made a brief appearance in Dean Kavanagh and Irvine Welsh's Wedding Bells as Barney, speaking with a Scottish accent. 2006 to 2010, early film roles. In 2006, Fassbender played Stelos, a young Spartan warrior, in 300, a fantasy action film directed by Zack Snyder. The film was a commercial success. 22. In preparation for his role as Provisional Irish Republican Army prisoner Bobby Sands in Steve McQueen's historical drama film Hunger, 2008, Fassbender adopted a diet that restricted him to 600 calories a day, weighing 125 pounds, 57 kilograms, as Sands. 23. Regarded as his breakthrough 24-25, his performance earned him the British Independent Film Award. 26. Peter Bradshaw, film critic of The Guardian, wrote, as Sands, Fassbender gives another ferociously convincing performance and his emaciated appearance is, finally, almost unwatchable. 27. 1 year after his success at the Cannes Film Festival with Hunger, he appeared in 2 films. The first was Quentin Tarantino's revisionist World War II comedy drama Inglourious Bastard, in which he played the British officer Lieutenant Archie Hecox. Fassbender acted opposite Brad Pitt, Diane Kruger, Melanie Laurent, and Christoph Waltz. Eric Cohn of IndieWire praised the film and its ensemble, declaring, "Hell, it's one of the best films of the century. The cast is superb." 28. The other film was the British drama Fish Tank, directed by Andrea Arnold. Fassbender plays the boyfriend, acting opposite Kirsten Waring as the single mother with 2 children. Ray Bennett of The Hollywood Reporter praised their chemistry and roles, writing, "Fassbender and Waring give honest and open performances as the conflicted adults." 29 Both films were critically acclaimed and Fassbender's work in them also well received. Weasel words. Fassbender at the premiere of 12 Years a Slave, 2013 Toronto International Film Festival. In 2010, Fassbender appeared as Burke in Jonah Hex, a Western film. 30 In an interview at San Diego Comic-Con, a comic book convention, Fassbender commented of the role, "I kind of developed this character and really pushed it, I'll see how far I pushed it. I had this idea about the character, he's kind of psychotic, he gets his kicks in perverted ways. I didn't want to make it very obvious or like something you've seen before." 31. Hex received predominantly negative reviews. 32 Responding to criticism of Jonah Hex in 2011, Fassbender commented, "Pretty awful, was it? I haven't seen it myself." 33. He portrayed Quintus Dias in Neil Marshall's bloody Roman war thriller drama film Centurion 34 and was cast as Richard Worth in the Joel Schumacher film Blood Creek alongside Dominic Purcell. The story centers on a West Virginia man who comes to terms with his moral qualms and helps his brother wipe out a family that had been protecting a Nazi occultist and who had kept his brother captive for him to feed off for years. 2011 to 2019, mainstream success. 2011 was a breakout year for Fassbender. He portrayed Edward Rochester in the period film Jane Eyre, featuring Mia Wasikowska in the title role, with Cary Fukunaga directing. 35 He next portrayed Magneto in the superhero blockbuster X-Men, First Class, the prequel to X-Men. Set in 1962, it focuses on the friendship between Charles Xavier, played by James McAvoy, and Magneto and the origin of their groups, the X-Men, and the Brotherhood of Mutants. The film was released on June 3, 2011 to general acclaim and financial success and promoted Fassbender to being more of a popular movie star. In 2011, Fassbender starred in A Dangerous Method by director David Cronenberg, playing Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung. The film premiered at the 2011 Venice Film Festival. 36 He also starred in Shame, as a man in his 30s struggling with his sexual addiction. Shame reunited him with director Steve McQueen and premiered at the 2011 Venice Film Festival, where Fassbender won a Volpe Cup Best Actor award for his portrayal of Brandon. 37 Fassbender was a serious contender for an Academy Award for Best Actor in a leading role, but he was not nominated, and according to various sources his full frontal nudity and depiction of sexual encounters inspired voters to fantasize, and not actually vote. 38-39 Fassbender achieved critical acclaim for his portrayal in Shame and received nominations for a Golden Globe Award and a BAFTA Award. 40-41. In 2012, he appeared as an MI6 agent in Haywire, an action thriller directed by Steven Soderbergh 30 and in Ridley Scott's science fiction film Prometheus. Reviews praised both the film's visual aesthetic design and the acting, most notably Fassbender's performance as the android David 8. Fassbender played the title role in Ridley Scott's The Counselor, a 2013 film based on the Cormac McCarthy script. 42-43 In 2013, he starred in 12 Years a Slave, his third collaboration with Steve McQueen. Fassbender's portrayal of Edwin Epps earned him an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor. Fassbender reprised the role of Magneto in X-Men, Days of Future Past, released May 23, 2014, the sequel to X-Men, First Class. 44 Fassbender stars in the title role in Frank, released late summer 2014, 45 a comedy loosely inspired by Frank Sidebottom, a comic persona created by English comedian Chris Seavey. Fassbender, Marion Cotillard, and Justin Kurzel at the Cannes premiere of Macbeth in 2015. Fassbender co-starred in Slow West, a western starring Cody Smith-McPhee and Ben Mendelsohn, in 2015. He played Silas, an enigmatic traveler. 46 Fassbender played late Apple founder and CEO Steve Jobs in the Danny Boyle-directed film Steve Jobs, which began filming in January 2015, in San Francisco, US, and premiered in September of that year. The film is an adaptation of Walter Isaacson's book Steve Jobs. 47. The screenplay was written by Aaron Sorkin. Fassbender became attached after Christian Bale dropped out of the project. 48. Todd McCarthy of The Hollywood Reporter praised Fassbender writing, "While he doesn't closely physically resemble the man, he fully delivers the essentials of how we have come to perceive the man." 49. His performance saw him nominated for the Academy Award, BAFTA Award, Golden Globe Award, and Screen Actors Guild Award for Best Actor. 50. Fassbender took on the Shakespearean role of Macbeth in a film directed by Justin Kurzel, where he teamed up with Academy Award winner Marion Cotillard as Lady Macbeth and David Thewlis as King Duncan. 51. Filming for the production began in January 2014 and the film premiered at the 2015 Cannes Film Festival. 52. In 2016, Fassbender once again played Magneto in the film X-Men: Apocalypse. 53. He next starred in The Light Between Oceans, based on the novel written by M.L. Stedman, and directed by Derek Kean France. The film began filming in New Zealand in late September 2014, and was released on September 2, 2016. 54. 55. Also in 2016, Fassbender starred in the thriller Trespass Against Us, with fellow Irishman Brendan Gleeson. 56. His final film of the year was the adaptation of video game Assassin's Creed, which he co-produced through his DMC film banner. 57. It was released on December 21, 2016. Macbeth Helmer Justin Kurzel directed, and co-star Marion Cotillard had a leading role, working with Fassbender again. 58. 59. In May 2017, Fassbender reprised his role as the android David, and played another character, in the sequel to Prometheus, Alien, Covenant. 60. In 2015, Fassbender was cast as Harry Hole, becoming the first actor ever to portray the character, in The Snowman, an adaptation of Joe Nesbo's novel, directed by Tomasz Alfredson and co-starring Rebecca Ferguson and Charlotte Gainsbourg. Filming began in January 2016 and the film was released in October 2017. 61. Fassbender reprised his role as Magneto in the 2019 film Dark Phoenix, which garnered unfavorable reviews and had a commercially unsuccessful theatrical run. 62. 63. 2020, present, acting hiatus and return. After a 4-year absence during which Fassbender pursued auto racing, he returned to film acting in David Fincher's action thriller The Killer, 2023, which premiered at the Venice International Film Festival. Peter Bradshaw of The Guardian praised Fassbender's casting, writing, "Michael Fassbender is perfect in the main role of a yoga-loving assassin." 64. The same year he starred in Next Goal Wins, directed by Taika Waititi, based upon the documentary of the same name. Fassbender also helped produce The Kitchen, a dystopian drama for Netflix. 65. Written by Daniel Kaluuya and Joe Murtaugh. In 2024, Fassbender began starring in the action thriller series The Agency for Paramount+. 66. He will also star alongside Alicia Vikander and Taylor Russell in N.A. Hongjin's thriller Hope, due to be released in 2025. 67. 68. And alongside Arnold Schwarzenegger and David Hasselhoff in the martial arts comedy feature Kung Fury 2, a sequel to the 2015 short film. 69. 70. Though principal photography on Kung Fury 2 was completed by 2019, legal issues have so far prevented the completed film from being released. 71. Auto racing. Michael Fassbender. European Le Mans Series career. Debut season 2020. Current team Proton competition. Racing license FIA bronze. Car number 93. Engine Porsche. Starts 22. Championships 0. Wins 0. Podiums 3. Poles 2. Fastest laps 0. Best finish 5th in 2021. Previous series. 2020 to 2021. 2019. 2017 to 2018 Porsche Super Cup. Porsche driving experience. Ferrari Challenge. Fassbender has expressed an interest in motorsport since his youth, stating in 2020, "Even before I started acting, I had a big dream to go racing." 72. A fan of Formula One and Scuderia Ferrari, he was a member of the team's Corso Pilota training course in 2016. 73. He began racing in the Ferrari Challenge's Coppa class in May 2017, finishing 15th in his debut at Mugello circuit. 74. He also raced in the Challenge's North American division, finishing 6th at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. 73. In 2018, he ran the full Ferrari Challenge North America schedule, winning the season opener at Daytona International Speedway and finishing 5th in the standings. 75. Fassbender driving at the Red Bull Ring during the 2021 Porsche Super Cup season. Fassbender moved to Porsche in 2019, competing in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany with the German Porsche Racing Experience and being the subject of a YouTube series by Porsche, called Road to Le Mans. 76. The following year, he joined Proton competition for the full 2020 European Le Mans series, sharing a 2017 Porsche 911 RSR with Richard Leitz and Felipe Fernandez Laser. 72. Later in the year, Fassbender raced a guest car in the Porsche Super Cup at Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya, and was involved in a start line crash, putting him out of the race within seconds. 77. In 2021, Fassbender continued to race with Proton competition in the European Le Mans series. Fassbender and his co-drivers scored 4th place finishes at the Red Bull Ring 78 and at Spa-Francorchamps 79 before achieving his best ever finish and his first podium at the last race at Portimao, finishing 2nd behind the number 80 Iron Lynx, eventual LMGTE champion. 80. The team finished 4th in the LMGTE Teams Championship, with 61 points. Fassbender and his wife Alicia Vikander at the 2020 Dublin International Film Festival. In June 2012, Fassbender told GQ magazine that he was dating American actress Nicole Beharie, with whom he had worked on the film Shame, 2011. 84. In December 2014, he began dating Swedish actress Alicia Vikander, with whom he had worked on the film The Light Between Oceans, 2016. 85-86. They married in a private ceremony in Ibiza on 14 October 2017. 87-88 and have 2 sons together. 89-90-91. They moved to Portugal in 2017 and purchased a home in the Alfama district of Lisbon. 87-88 with Fassbender selling the property in the Hackney area of London he had lived in since 1996. 92-93-94. Fassbender is known for preferring to keep his personal life private. 95. He has said that he was an altar boy as a child and is now a lapsed Catholic, but still goes to church to light candles. 12-96. He is a supporter of English football team Liverpool FC. 97-98. He holds a German passport. 99 and has admitted that he intended to get an Irish passport for years and just never got around to it. 99. He speaks German 10, though he stated that he needed to brush up on it before filming Inglourious Bastard, 2009, because it was a bit rusty. 100-101. He has expressed interest in performing in a German-language film or play. 102. In 2010, Fassbender's ex-girlfriend Sunewin Andrews accused him of 2 incidents of domestic abuse that had occurred the previous year. 103. News reports cited a court petition and a restraining order filed by Andrews, alleging that Fassbender was screaming at her while driving recklessly. After she got out of the car, he allegedly drove forward and dragged her alongside it. 103. This resulted in a hospital visit to treat a twisted left ankle, blown out left kneecap, and a burst ovarian cyst, in addition to lots of internal bleeding. 103. The second incident came when he allegedly returned to their hotel room from a film festival, inebriated and accompanied by a friend, and the 2 men tried to get into bed with her. After checking into another room for the night, She alleges that he threw her over a chair and broke her nose when she tried to wake him up after finding him asleep in his own urine. 103 He has not publicly addressed the allegations, which resurfaced during the Me Too movement in 2017. Jennifer Schrader Lawrence, born August 15, 1990, is an American actress and producer. She has starred in both action film franchises and independent dramas, her films having grossed over $6 billion worldwide. The world's highest paid actress in 2015 and 2016, she appeared in Time's 100 Most Influential People in the World list in 2013 and the Forbes Celebrity 100 list from 2013 to 2016. Her accolades include an Academy Award, a British Academy Film Award, 3 Golden Globe Awards, and a Peabody Award. Lawrence began her career as a teenager with guest roles on television. Her first major role was as a main cast member on the sitcom The Bill Engvall Show, 2007 to 2009. In 2008, she made her film debut with a supporting role in the drama Garden Party and earned the Marcello Mastroianni Award for her performance in The Burning Plain. Her breakthrough came with the role of a poverty-stricken teenager in the independent film Winter's Bone, 2010. Lawrence gained stardom portraying the mutant Mystique in the X-Men film series, 2011 to 2019, and Katniss Everdeen in the Hunger Games film series, 2012 to 2015. The latter made her the highest-grossing action heroine. Lawrence collaborated with filmmaker David O. Russell on 3 films, all which garnered her significant recognition. For portraying a troubled young widow in the romance Silver Linings Playbook, 2012, she won the Academy Award for Best Actress, becoming the second youngest winner in the category at age 22. Lawrence won the BAFTA Award for Best Actress in a Supporting Role for playing an unpredictable wife in the black comedy American Hustle, 2013. She also received Golden Globe Awards for both, and for portraying businesswoman Joy Mangano in the biopic Joy, 2015. A series of mixed-reviewed films and media scrutiny of her role choices led to a small break from acting. Lawrence returned with the black comedy Don't Look Up, 2021, after which she produced and starred in the drama Causeway, 2022, and the comedy No Hard Feelings, 2023. In 2025, she received renewed critical attention for her lead role in the psychological drama Die My Love. Lawrence is a feminist and advocates for women's reproductive rights. In 2015, she founded the Jennifer Lawrence Foundation, which advocates for the Boys and Girls Clubs of America and the Special Olympics. She is also an active member of the anti-corruption organization Represent Us. Lawrence formed the production company Excellent Cadaver in 2018. Early life. Jennifer Schrader Lawrence was born on August 15, 1990, in Indian Hills, Kentucky, to Gary, a construction company owner, and Karen, née Cook, a summer camp manager. 234 She has 2 older brothers, Ben and Blaine. 3 Lawrence's parents were not anticipating a child when she was conceived, and Karen once said, "We thought we were finished having kids. We got rid of the baby bed and everything." 5. The family owned a horse farm when she was a child, and Lawrence owned a horse named Muffin. 6. Her mother raised her to be tough like her brothers, as she did not want Lawrence to be a diva. 5. Karen also refused to let her play with other girls in preschool, as she deemed her too rough with them and worried she would hurt them. 5. 6. Even Lawrence admitted she was a hyper child. 7. Lawrence was educated at the Kammerer Middle School in Louisville. 6. She was raised as a Christian. 8. Lawrence did not enjoy her childhood due to hyperactivity and social anxiety, and considered herself a misfit among her peers. 3. I didn't have any friends. I remember being kind of lonely, she recalled. 6. Lawrence has said that her anxieties vanished when performing on stage and that acting gave her a sense of accomplishment. 9. Her school activities included cheerleading, softball, field hockey and basketball, which she played on a boys' team coached by her father. 6. Lawrence did not enjoy these activities, and recalled in 2015, "There's something about team sports, classes, I didn't take well to it. I didn't like it. I hated team sports." 5. Growing up, she was fond of horseback riding and frequently visited a local horse farm. 10. Lawrence has an injured tailbone as a result of being thrown from a horse. 11. When her father worked from home, she performed for him, often dressing up as a clown or ballerina. 12. Lawrence had her first acting assignment at age 9, playing a Nineveh prostitute in a church play based on the Book of Jonah. For the next few years, she continued taking parts in church plays and school musicals. 6. Lawrence was 14 and on a family vacation in New York City when she was spotted on the street by a talent scout, who arranged for her to audition for talent agents. 13. 14. Her mother was not keen on her pursuing an acting career, but she briefly moved her family to New York to let Lawrence read for roles. 6. After her first cold reading, the agents said that hers was the best they had heard from someone so young. However, her mother convinced her that they were lying. 14. Lawrence said her early experiences were difficult because she felt lonely and friendless. 6. She signed with CESD Talent Agency, which convinced her parents to let her audition for roles in Los Angeles. While her mother encouraged her to go into modeling, she insisted on pursuing acting. 15. Which she considered a natural fit for her abilities, and turned down several modeling offers, though she modeled for Abercrombie and Fitch before beginning an acting career, and the modeling photos were never released. 7. 16. 13. She dropped out of school at 14 without receiving a general educational development, GED, or diploma. Lawrence has described herself as self-educated and said that her career was her priority. 17. Between her acting jobs in the city, she made regular visits to Louisville, where she was an assistant nurse at her mother's camp. 18. Career 2006 to 2011, early roles and breakthrough. Lawrence at the 2007 Movie Guide Awards. Lawrence began her acting career with a minor role in the television pilot Company Town, 2006, which was never sold. 19. She followed it with guest roles in several television shows, including Monk, 2006, and Medium, 2007. 20. She received her first part as a series regular on the TBS sitcom The Bill Engvall Show, in which she played Lauren, the rebellious teenage daughter of a family living in suburban Louisville, Colorado. 20. The series premiered in 2007 and ran for 3 seasons. 21. Tom Shales of the Washington Post considered her a scene stealer in her part, and David Hinckley of the New York Daily News wrote that she was successful in delivering the perpetual exasperation of teenage girls. 22. 23. In 2009, Lawrence won a Young Artist Award for Outstanding Young Performer in a TV series for the role. 24. Lawrence made her film debut in the 2008 drama film Garden Party, in which she played a troubled teenager named Tiff. 25. She then appeared in director Guillermo Arriaga's feature film debut The Burning Plain, 2008, a drama narrated in a hyperlink format. She was cast as the teenage daughter of Kim Basinger's character, who discovers her mother's extramarital affair. She shared the role with Charlize Theron, who played the older version of her character. Mark Feeney of the Boston Globe described her role as a thankless task, but Derek Elley of Variety praised her as the production's prime asset. 26-27. Her performance earned her the Marcello Mastroianni Award for Best Emerging Actress at the 2008 Venice Film Festival. 28. The same year, she appeared in the music video for the song The Mess I Made by Parachute. 29. In 2008, she starred in Lori Petty's drama The Poker House as the oldest of 3 sisters living with a drug-abusing mother. 30-31. Stephen Farber of The Hollywood Reporter opined that Lawrence has a touching poise on camera that conveys the resilience of children. 32. She won an Outstanding Performance Award at the Los Angeles Film Festival for her performance in the film. 33. Lawrence's breakthrough role came in Deborah Granick's independent drama Winter's Bone, 2010, based on the novel of the same name by Daniel Wood Rule. The film featured her as 17-year-old Ridali, a poverty-stricken teenage girl in the Ozark Mountains who cares for her mentally ill mother and younger siblings while searching for her missing father. She traveled to the Ozarks a week before filming began to live with the family on whom the story was based. In preparation for the role, she learned to fight, skin squirrels, and chop wood. 34-35 David Denby of The New Yorker asserted that the film would be unimaginable with anyone less charismatic. 36 and Peter Travers of Rolling Stone wrote that her performance is more than acting, it's a gathering storm. Lawrence's eyes are a roadmap to what's tearing Rhea apart. 37. The production won the Grand Jury Prize at the Sundance Film Festival. 38. The actress was awarded the National Board of Review Award for Breakthrough Performance, and received her first nominations for the Golden Globe Award, SAG Award, and Academy Award for Best Actress, becoming the second youngest Best Actress Oscar nominee at the time. 39. 40-41. Lawrence at the 83rd Academy Awards in 2011, where she received her first Academy Award nomination for Winter's Bone, 2010. In 2011, Lawrence took on a supporting role in Like Crazy, a romantic drama about long-distance relationships, starring Anton Yelchin and Felicity Jones. 42. Kenneth Duran of the Los Angeles Times considered the film to be an intensely wrought and immensely satisfying love story and credited all three performers for making their characters' yearning palpable. 43. She then appeared again with Yelchin in Jodie Foster's The Beaver, alongside Foster and Mel Gibson. Filmed in 2009, the production was delayed due to controversy concerning Gibson and earned less than half of its $21 million budget. 44-45. After her dramatic role in Winter's Bone, Lawrence looked for something less serious, and found it with her first high-profile release, Matthew Vaughn's superhero film X-Men, First Class, 2011, a prequel to the X-Men film series. 46. She portrayed the shape-shifting mutant Mystique, a role played by Rebecca Romaine in the earlier films. 47. Vaughn cast Lawrence, as he thought that she would be able to portray the weakness and strength involved in the character's transformation. 48. For the part, Lawrence lost weight and practiced yoga. 49. For Mystique's blue form, she had to undergo 8 hours of makeup, where latex pieces and body paint were applied to her otherwise nude body. 50. As Romaine had done on the other films. This process required Lawrence to report to set at 2 a.m. 51. She was intimidated by the role as she admired Romaine. 52. Writing for USA Today, Claudia Poog considered the film to be a classy reboot of the film series, and believed that her high-spirited performance empowered the film. 53. With worldwide earnings of $350 million, X-Men, First Class became Lawrence's highest-grossing film at that point. 54. 2012 to 2015, established actress. In 2012, Lawrence starred as Katniss Everdeen in The Hunger Games, an adaptation of the first book in author Suzanne Collins' trilogy of the same name. Set in a post-apocalyptic future, the series tells the story of the teenage heroine Everdeen as she joins rebel forces against a totalitarian government after winning a brutal televised annual event. Despite being an admirer of the books, Lawrence was initially hesitant to accept the part, because of the grand scale of the film. She agreed to the project after her mother convinced her to take the part. 55. She practiced archery, rock and tree climbing, and hand-to-hand combat techniques, and other physically demanding activities for the role. 656-57. While training for the part, she injured herself running into a wall. 58. The Hunger Games garnered positive reviews, with Lawrence's portrayal of Everdeen being particularly praised. 59. Roger Ebert described the film as an effective entertainment, and found Lawrence to be strong and convincing in the central role. 60. Similarly, Todd McCarthy of The Hollywood Reporter called her an ideal screen actress, believing that she had embodied the Everdeen of the novel, and added that she anchors the film with impressive gravity and presence. 61 with worldwide revenues of over $690 million. 54 The Hunger Games became a top-grossing film featuring a female lead. 62 making Lawrence the highest-grossing action heroine of all time. 63 The film's success established her as a global star. 64 Lawrence attending the premiere of Silver Linings Playbook at the 2012 Toronto International Film Festival. Later in 2012, Lawrence played Tiffany Maxwell, a troubled young widow, in David O. Russell's romantic comedy drama Silver Linings Playbook. The film is an adaptation of Matthew Quick's novel of the same name, and follows her character as she finds companionship with Pat Solitano Jr. Played by Bradley Cooper, a man with bipolar disorder. 65-66 Lawrence was drawn to her character's complex personality, explaining, "She was just kind of this mysterious enigma to me because she didn't really fit any basic kind of character profile. Somebody who is very forceful and bullheaded is normally very insecure, but she isn't." 67 While Russell initially found her too young for the part, she convinced him to cast her via a Skype audition. 55 She found herself challenged by Russell's spontaneity as a director, and described working on the project as the best experience of her life. 55 Richard Corliss of Time magazine wrote, "Just 21 when the movie was shot, Lawrence is that rare young actress who is, grown up. Sullen and sultry, she lends a mature intelligence to any role." 68 Peter Travers called her some kind of miracle. "She's rude, dirty, funny, foul-mouthed, sloppy, sexy, vibrant, and vulnerable, sometimes all in the same scene, even in the same breath." 69 Lawrence won the Golden Globe, SAG Award, and the Academy Award for Best Actress, becoming at age 22 the second youngest Best Actress Oscar winner. 70 Her final film of the year was alongside Max Thieriot and Elizabeth Shue in Mark Tonderai's critically panned thriller House at the End of the Street. 71 In January 2013, she hosted an episode of the NBC late-night sketch comedy Saturday Night Live. 72 The Devil You Know, a small-scale production that Lawrence had filmed for in 2005, was her first release of 2013. 73 She then reprised the role of Everdeen in The Hunger Games, Catching Fire, the second installment in the Hunger Games series. 74 While performing the film's underwater stunts, Lawrence suffered from an ear infection that resulted in a brief loss of hearing. 58 Writing for The Village Voice, Stephanie Zacharek believed that the actress' portrayal of Everdeen made her an ideal role model, stating that there's no sanctimony or pretense of false modesty in the way Lawrence plays her. 75 With box office earnings of $865 million, Catching Fire remains her highest-grossing film. 54 In the same year, Lawrence took on a supporting role in David O. Russell's ensemble black comedy crime American Hustle as Rosalind Rosenfeld, the neurotic wife of con man Irving Rosenfeld, played by Christian Bale. Inspired by the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI's Abscom sting operation, the film is set against the backdrop of political corruption in 1970s New Jersey. 76-77 She did little research for the role, and based her performance on knowledge of the era from films and television shows she had watched. 64 Jeffrey McNabb of The Independent found Lawrence to be brilliant, funny, and acerbic in her part, and highlighted an improvised scene in which she aggressively kisses her husband's mistress, played by Amy Adams, on the lips. 76 For her performance, she won the Golden Globe and BAFTA Award for Best Supporting Actress, and received her third Screen Actors Guild Award and Academy Award nominations, her first in the supporting category. This made her the youngest actor to accrue 3 Oscar nominations. 78-79 Lawrence promoting The Hunger Games, Mockingjay, Part 2 at the 2015 San Diego Comic-Con. Lawrence played Serena Pemberton in Suzanne Bier's Depression-era drama Serena, 2014, based on the novel of the same name by Ron Rash. In the film, she and her husband George, played by Bradley Cooper, become involved in criminal activities after realizing that they cannot bear children. 80. The project was filmed in 2012, and was released in 2014 to poor reviews. 81-82 Lawrence then reprised the role of Mystique in X-Men, Days of Future Past, which served as a sequel to both X-Men, The Last Stand, 2006, and X-Men, First Class, 2011. The film received positive reviews and grossed $748.1 million worldwide, becoming the highest-grossing film in the X-Men series to that point. 83-84 Justin Chang of Variety praised her look in the film but thought she had little to do but glower, snarl, and let the F/X artists do their thing. 85. Lawrence's next two releases were the final installments of the Hunger Games film series, Mockingjay, Part 1, 2014, and Part 2, 2015. 86 For the soundtrack of the former film, she recorded the song The Hanging Tree, 87 which charted on multiple international singles charts. 88 While filming a scene in a tunnel for Part 2, a fog machine malfunctioned and released an excessive amount of fog, nearly suffocating Lawrence. She was carried out by a rescue crew. 89 In a review of the final installment in the series, Manala Dargis of the New York Times drew similarities between Everdene's journey as a rebel leader and Lawrence's rise to stardom, stating that the actress now inhabits the role as effortlessly as breathing, partly because, like all great stars, she seems to be playing a version of her real self. 90. Both films grossed over $650 million worldwide. 54. Lawrence worked with David O. Russell for the third time on the biopic Joy, 2015, in which she played the eponymous character, a troubled single mother who becomes a successful businesswoman after inventing the miracle mop. 91 During production in Boston, the press reported on a disagreement between Lawrence and Russell that resulted in a screen